Good morning. It's the morning time. It's Sunday morning. Are you excited? It's Sunday. Here we go. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Always Sunday Football Podcast. It's a Sunday morning special. I'm your host, Dave. I'm joined as I am every Sunday morning by my boy, Anthony. How's it going, Anthony?
Oh, it's going great. Ready for some playoff weeks.
Yeah, it's officially the fantasy playoffs. If your league is not in the first round of the fantasy playoffs right now, then you need to get your league updated. You need to get those kickers out of there, and you need to make sure your playoffs are in 15, 16, and 17, especially with the week 14 buys. Like, that's just ridiculousness. But I digress. So today, Anthony and I, on Sunday mornings, we get together. Obviously, everybody knows that on Tuesday nights, the whole crew is together. Danny, Johnny, Anthony, and myself. We talk all things fantasy football. We recap the weekend. We look ahead. But on Sunday mornings, Anthony and I decided we were going to put our heads together. We're going to try to put together a cash lineup and a GPP lineup for DK, because collectively, we always talk about some good ass plays, but it's a matter of getting those good ass plays, like recognizing them and then getting them into our lineups. So we are going to try to get better at that over the rest of the season. Last week, our cash lineup kicked ass. Our tournament lineup licked ass. So we got a little better. We got a little bit better this time, especially in the tournament side. Anthony, you want to just real quickly, what's the difference between a tournament and a cash lineup for our viewers?
Yes, cash lineup is when you're playing the floor, you're getting the players you know that are going to get you the points you need so that you can place in the cash lineup like a double up. And where a tournament lineup, you're shooting for the stars, right? You're mixing your lineup with less of the players where you're like, all right, these guys are going to be good, and more of like, all right, this guy is a Westbrook Akine situation where he's either going to get me 1.4 points or 24 points for his price, where you whatever their price is, you want to get at least 4 times that.
So a cash lineup is, you just want to beat half the field. You need to be in the top half of the scores so you can go for floor. You don't have to go for ceiling. A GPP, a tournament, you want to try to finish first, which means you have to take some more risks. And so we're going to be identifying players in each game that we think are safe plays, we think are good volume plays. Then we're going to try to identify guys who are good. Like, if everything goes right, this guy could explode. And then try and get all those guys who explode into the same lineup together. That's the fun part. So,
Mm-hmm. We
like
all
I
like a
said,
good explosion.
yeah, especially on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon.
Yes. No better way to start your
Yeah,
Sunday than with an explosion.
exactly. So let's start breaking down these games. Okay, the first game we're going to talk about really quickly is, oh, and I forgot to bring up the implied team totals. I'll bring that up as I'm talking here. The first game we have is the Washington Commanders and the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans at home. They are underdogs. So Washington is favored by 7.5 on the road here with a 44-point over under. And if you give me 1 minute, I will tell you the implied point totals. The implied point totals are important because you want to try to roster players who who Vegas thinks that are going to score a lot of points, that their team is going to score a lot of points. And for some reason, it's showing me that there are no games today, which obviously is not the case. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back. So Washington's implied for 25 points, 25.5 points, and New Orleans for just 18. We're looking for teams that are going to that are implied to score maybe 24 or more points, because in that theory, they're getting at least 3 touchdowns, which means that the guys on those teams have a better chance of getting a touchdown than a team that's implied to score less. It's pretty straightforward, but it's nice to take those spreads and the team totals, that the 44 over
Yeah.
under, and use the spread to determine how many points each team is going to score. And in this case, we're looking at 25.5, 18. Washington, juicy. New Orleans, the last thing I'll say on them is
Not
backup,
juicy.
backup quarterback. They got Jake Hayner coming in. He's a backup to the backup.
Oh, did you see it? Oh my
Not
god, I got somebody send me a picture. You seen his picture? He looks like he's doing that that thing from what was that movie with Ben Stiller?
Zoolander.
Yes, and he was doing like he's
He
doing
was
the
doing Blue
vinyl thing.
Steel or yeah,
Oh, man.
there's this weird if you haven't seen it, go on Twitter because it went viral. Jake Hayner photo shoot. He did this weird he's in his uniform. He's like holding a football, but he's doing just like the strangest poses of all time. And it just looks like the weirdest photo shoot. It looks fake. It looks like it's not a real football player.
Yeah, it looks like
Or
somebody with no editing skills tried to edit that video photo.
or it looked like AI. Like somebody was like, show me a football player in a full uniform posing like he's on a runway. Like very weird. Anyway, who do you like on the Washington side? Anybody? I know I do.
Washington side, yeah, we're mainly speaking DFS. Just about all of it is
We're pretty much
DFS.
all speaking DFS because we got DFS lineups
So
to
like
build here.
I mean, you can't not like Daniels.
Mhm.
7,500 is okay. For a cash lineup, I might, but I probably just really like is Brian Robinson Jr. To be honest, think that's just gonna a lot of him. You can maybe say a McNichols if they're just shitting all over. He can get some upside. Kamara, I would stay away from for that price. McLaurin, okay, and then after that, nobody. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe a little Ertz for 4,000 tight end wise.
yeah. Ertz at 4,000 is nice. Because I think he's going to get a bunch of targets at that price. It's hard to. I mean, we might see a couple of different guys, but he's going to be one of the top probably cheap tight end choices. McLaurin I really like in this game. The Daniels McLaurin stack is definitely appealing to me, but as you mentioned, it's a little bit on the pricier side.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from Kamara on the Saints, is there anybody that you're interested in on the Saints? I mean, the cover is looking pretty big. I mean, you can
I mean,
discuss the tight end
yeah,
Jawan Johnson is worth bringing up, but again, all the options are going to take a downgrade because of the quarterback situation. It's not Derek Carr. As much as we like to, make fun and have fun with Derek Carr, he makes the offense run. And this kid
right.
Hayner, we don't know if the offense
You
is
don't
even
know,
going to run.
so it's a huge question mark. And he can come in and be productive enough to give probably a receiver of some sort, whether it is Jawan Johnson or whoever it might else be, a serviceable day. But I'm not gambling on that at all. Like MVS, he might get a bomb touch, but I'm still not even gambling on that. I
Yeah,
might say Kendre Miller. Like
that's
they could
for the price. Yeah, like Kendry Miller is a guy who I could see
4,500.
playing. I can see playing him on like your redraft lineup when you don't have anybody else to play and you just need a guy who's going to get a handful of touches and hopefully he gets a touchdown. But I think that Kamara is still so involved that his upside, Kendra Miller's upside, I think to me is extremely. I mean, last week he got a touchdown and I believe he didn't even get 10 fantasy points. So
That's true.
So I don't think there's going to be enough work for him to become to be worth it. I don't think he's going to get you enough points. Even with a touchdown last week, he didn't get there. So yeah, Daniels, McLaurin, Brian Robinson, and pretty much log out here. Oh, and Zach Ertz, if you're interested, if you're into that sort of thing. I like playing low price tight ends, so he's certainly
Yeah, I honestly looked at him to save some money, but the lineup I made, I only did one lineup this week and I just put it in everywhere because I kind of
okay.
liked how I went about it. And I literally start as we generally do when we build one, we kind of start with the onesie positions, whether it's defense or tight end. So like he was immediately plugged in. And then when I was moving things around, which I still might look at after we talk about it, just because the last flex play was what I had left.
Yeah.
But I went back and then put in Ferguson just because I feel as if Lamb is a little banged up. So
Hmm. No, Lamb isn't baked up. I'm baked up. It's Sunday morning, baby.
well, I'm baked up, but I
Yeah,
meant
we're
banged
both.
up.
Yeah. This is the Sunday morning baked up show. Okay. Baltimore
I figured that's the
Ravens, New
next
York.
game, right? Oh no.
I don't know which list. I mean, we might be looking at different orders. Either way, Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants. Okay,
Oh,
this
let's get this
game
over real quick.
gross. Giants are
I'm
at home, but the Ravens are favored right now by 16.5. That's right.
I wanted to just say that
16.
real quick.
Go ahead.
When we did our show Tuesday night, it was 14.5.
And now it's 16.5. It's been bet up
on the way
which
up.
is it's crazy. So let's start with the Giants. I can see playing Malik Neighbors in this. The Giants quarterback is Tommy Cutlets. Lock out Tommy Cutlets in. I can see playing Neighbors just strictly on volume.
The Cutlets Neighbor stack?
I mean, look, I probably would never play the Cutlets Neighbors stack. But I can see playing Neighbors by himself. It probably is. But for good reason. Like Neighbors is the riskiest play. Like I'm playing him today against you in our redraft league, and my butthole is as puckered as it could possibly be.
Well, I needed to be that way because Cooper Kupp guys put up a big fat goose egg for me first week of the playoffs. Yeah,
Cooper Kupp. Okay, so anybody on the Giants that you're interested in here for DFS?
For DFS, probably not. I'm just trying to find where Neighbors is. 6,400 for Neighbors is something I would touch. And then maybe a Wandale for target purposes. He has been good to get the targets, short down play. Like he'll get you, 6 for 40. But
you're lucky.
Right. But just because the pass offense on the Ravens isn't so great.
Pass defense.
Pass defense. Baked Sunday, guys. Wandale Robinson for 4,600 is a more of the tournament, I would say, and then Cash Neighbors.
Neighbors. I'm thinking GPP Neighbors. Cash nobody in this one. For me,
that's fair, but I'm also a bigger risky taker.
Yeah, that's fair. I've always been more of a cash minded player, and you've always been more of a GPP minded player.
Right.
I wouldn't touch anybody on the Giants in cash, but at GPP, I think Neighbors makes some sense. You're basically hoping for him to catch 6 to 8 balls, and one of them he breaks for a big touchdown, and then he gets there. Other than that, he's not getting there. So for me, cash is out of the question. But speaking of cash, though, the Ravens are implied right now for 29.5 points. The Giants, by the way, only implied to score 13.5 points in this game. So if you don't get the touchdown, you're going to be sad playing Giants players. Ravens are projected to score almost 30 points in this game. Lamar, obvious, yes. Andrews, obvious, yes.
Right. Derrick but yet Henry. Again, for 8,300 in this game, I'm not going to spend it. But still, you're not saying you don't play him. That's just a guy I'm not going to spend money on.
In DFS, you're talking about guys who may not play the fourth quarter, and you can't have that in a DFS lineup, even if it's cash or tournament.
And for 8,300, I'm sure Josh Allen is close to that, so I'd rather go that way.
100%. So like you're playing all your Ravens in redraft, you're playing all your Ravens in your fantasy league, but in DFS for that price, it looks like we're going to be able to find options that are just a little more solidified to play 4 quarters of action.
Right. I'm actually mostly, even though they're implied to score 30, I'm still not even trying to pick any of them just because I think it's just going to be such a shit game. And like you say, if they end up doing it, they're going to get pulled. Most of these guys are going to get pulled, right? Your Flowers will play less snaps. Andrews will be sat. They're saving these guys for playoffs. Lamar Jackson, like for the price of it. Derrick Henry, you're going to spend a lot, and yeah, he might literally get you the like 17 points in the first quarter. I might like a little Justice Hill or somebody as one of the backups that they would throw in more just to not use Henry as a cheap option.
That's a little bit but I understand the play, and that's a fine GPP play if you think that it's going to go crazy. Like for example, you play Neighbors in a GPP and you bring it back, and your complimentary player is Justice Hill.
Right, for 4,800. He's scored double digits many times this year with Henry having a great game.
Yeah.
So if he gets the first half as Derrick Henry and at the half it's like 17-3, 21-3, then they might just be like, all right, we're worrying about playoffs, so these guys are not beating us. Let Justice Hill now get 70% of the snaps in the second half, and that's going to be enough for him to score in the teens. So that's a play I might be interested in, but that's about it. Kind of want to stay away from this shit game.
Yeah, I mean, again, in like in redraft or whatever, you're playing your Ravens, no questions. Kansas City, Cleveland. Cleveland is at home. The Chiefs are favored now by 4.5 points. I want to say it was 4 when we picked this. 41.5 point over under. Where you want to start, Chiefs or Browns?
Yeah, go Chiefs. It was 4 when we did it.
Yep. So I guess people are betting the Chiefs. Like they're betting the Chiefs to cover that number. And now that it's 4.5, I like the Browns even more in this one, just because the Chiefs only win by, the Chiefs win by 3 points.
I think it was before this past Sunday, leading into this past weekend, 7 of their games they didn't cover the spread this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're against the spread. They're like maybe they've covered once this season or something. Okay, so the Chiefs. You got Mahomes. You got Kelsey. Let's talk about Mahomes, Kelsey, DeAndre Hopkins first. So obviously Mahomes has been a disappointment for fantasy dating back to last year. I'm sure, I'm positive that we can find better options to play at the price, higher than the price, lower than the price. I don't see myself playing Mahomes at all.
I'd play Winston over Mahomes.
Yeah, 100%. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough call because I was reading yesterday, I heard it on a podcast. I think the fantasy footballers mentioned it, and then I looked up, and there's a based off the trade terms, if they play DeAndre Hopkins a certain amount of snaps, they owe a better pick. So he's like not going to play more than 50% of the snaps ever, just because they don't want to have to pay a heft. So to me, he's a guy who. Sorry.
That's business,
Oh yeah, I mean for business purposes, that's a good idea for them, but for DFS purposes, for fantasy purposes, we want a guy who's on the field for 95% of the snaps, not 55% of the snaps. So to me, Hopkins he's not a good DFS play. To me, on the Chiefs side, as far as pass catchers on the Chiefs, it's Travis Kelce and no one else. No Mahomes and no other pass catcher. Kelce is the guy I could see playing. And for me, that's it as far as pass catchers. What about you?
I like a little, which I have to look at. Oh, no, I'm on a buy. Never mind. Because in our dynasty, I have Pitts and he's a dickhead. So like Noah Gray has been somebody who I thought of reason why I drafted him was like somebody that's going to be at least the next Kelce or cover up and be decent. And he always has been. So like, if they don't have anybody, they could do a lot of two tight end sets, and he could, he can score a touchdown. I don't know what his price is, but yeah, that's not something I'm going to be happy about or anything. Noah Gray, 3,200. For Kelce to be 5,700, you might as well just go that route. But
yeah, if you're looking to save money, he's not the worst, sort of like dart throw option. What's D's nuts got going on?
A lot
Good
of
morning,
nuts.
D's nuts.
I think this is a repeat. I remember D's nuts. Pick 2 RBs and 1 flex, full PPR. Thanks for the info. James Cook, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Charbonnet, Thielen, Waddle, McConkey. He's leaning Monty, Charbonnet, and flexing McConkey.
That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. David Montgomery is an easy start there. Zach Charbonnet.
You got a lot of good running backs.
Yeah. You do have Breece scares me because he's got the injury concerns. There's 2
Yeah,
very valid.
I'm staying away from Breece. It's more of
no Breece.
It's more of like, how can I maybe work James Cook in there just because it's in the game of a 54.5 point total over under, and not a lot of receivers I'm like excited about. James Cook should get to work, but then it's also like shit. It's the same situation over in Philly. Like, is Cook going to get the touchdown or is Allen going to run it in? So that's where I'm always scared to play Cook. But in a situation where I'm looking at these, I'm trying to see if there's a way for me to work him in. McConkey's good to go, all healthy,
Well,
right?
James Cook could be the flex over McConkey in this situation. You could play Montgomery, Charbonnet, and James Cook. So would you play James Cook over the receivers? I would rank him.
I see that's the thing. Waddle's a boomer bust. I do like the matchup against Houston.
Huge risk.
Huge risk. No, huge risk. But where I'm going hard, yeah, it's between McConkey because they're playing Tampa, but yet again, you're on an offense that they're trying to pass more, but also still, I still think they're in the let's run first. Let's
They're still run first philosophy, but yes, they're
right,
passing
and
a
there's
lot
still
more.
strategical win. All right, can we want to own the ball more than you have, and then work the clock. So it's tough. Like I might go Monty, Charbonnet, Cook. You got two guys in a 55 and a point over under game. I don't know if it changed, but
yeah, I'm going to stick with Monty, Charbonnet, and McConkey. Also, just keep in mind, Charbonnet is not going to have another huge game like he did last week. Like, he's going to get a lot of work. He's going to have a fine day, but he's not going to explode like he did last week. So if you wanted to play Cook over Charbonnet, I wouldn't be mad at you and just go Monty, Cook, and then flex McConkey. But those are the four players, Monty, Charbonnet, Cook, and then McConkey. Those are the guys that we think you should be picking from. I would go
think
Monty,
Thielen's going to
Charbonnet.
have an okay day.
He's a fine play, and Waddle is a risky play, just so risky, and you don't need to take on that risk in this situation.
Give me 1 second, my bad.
No, you're good. Hold on a second here. Let's get him out of there. So yeah, I think that the way to go here is to follow your gut, Monty, Charbonnet, McConkey, and then if you do believe in James Cook, then you could slide Cook in over McConkey and take out the little bit of injury risk that McConkey carries because he's a little bit banged up right now. We're here every Sunday morning from this point to the end of the season, and we do this with our partners. Tuesday nights. So every Tuesday, check in with us. So this coming Tuesday, let us know how it went. Like and subscribe. I think you might be already subscribed to D's Nuts. So thank you for tuning back in, and good luck to you. Let's see if Anthony's back. Nope, he's not back. What is that? I don't know. Hope he's okay over there. So let's see. Let's get this out of here. Toss this up. Why not? See, that's the way to do it, D's Nuts. Why not? It doesn't cost you anything. As a matter of fact, Sunday mornings, every Sunday morning, subscriptions are free. So right now, act now, free subscriptions to the YouTube channel right now for everybody who's watching right now. You're all invited to subscribe for free. But yeah, man, we do this every Tuesday night. There's 4 of us that get together and we chop everything up. And then Sunday mornings, Anthony and I, we try to hit the nuts in DFS by building a cash lineup and a GPP lineup. Good luck to you, and we'll see you soon. I wonder what's up with Anthony. Oh, here he is. He's back. Okay, hold on a second.
I never know what he's doing back there.
Yeah, you went and we checked back in with you, and it was a weird something weird was on the screen. It looked strange. Couldn't tell what it was. So, but here we are. Yeah, I told D's Nuts to go with his gut and play those 3 players, but then you could also slip Cook in there if you wanted to play him over McConkey. Yeah, and he was kind enough to subscribe. So there we go. So we talked about the Chiefs. We're playing maybe not in DFS, but Kelsey's a fine play, or a dart throw would be Noah Gray. Let's talk about Pacheco here. Pacheco, real quick. He took the.
I'm scared.
What did you say?
I'm scared.
Oh yeah. See, I don't think Pacheco's back to like full 100% Pacheco. But it looks like they're giving him the role. Last week he had the lion's share of the work over Kareem Hunt, and so that was encouraging to see. So hopefully he continues to get better and better and play more and more. But in DFS, I'm not going near him. What about you?
No, sir. Not touching that at all. Not on the Chiefs side. Very. It's hard to say this and think of it as them being their record that you don't really want to touch any of their players.
Yeah, they're not fun for fantasy, but they just keep winning games. They just keep winning and winning and winning.
Right. I mean,
On
the
the
only player
Browns,
that would have been Rice, but he's when he went down, he before he went down, he was killing it.
yeah, I can't wait to see what they look like next year. Because they'll still have Hopkins most likely. He'll be on the outside taking some attention, and then Rice is just going to go berserk in the middle. The Cleveland Browns. You already mentioned that you'd rather start Winston over Mahomes in this same game. I agree with you, but I'm not running out to start Winston this week just because the Chiefs' defense is so good. Like
No, but I
normally,
am running out to start Jerry Judy.
even again, I mean, you're not concerned about the defense.
No, because he's going to throw it. He's been killing it. He's like top 5 wide receiver since like the past like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I think that you're going against the Chiefs.
I didn't
Maybe it is.
mention this at the beginning, but
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm on such a delay that I like we're both talking at the same time, but not hearing each other talk. The Chiefs are implied for 25.5 points, and the Browns are implied for 21. So they're both actually implied for pretty nice. Like this game's over under is only 41.5. But is that right?
No,
No,
because I mean
23
Tuesday
and
it was
18. Okay.
45.
Yeah, no. 23 and 18.5 is the number. 23 points for the Chiefs, 18.5 for the Browns. I was reading the wrong thing there. So yeah, so I mean the Browns are not implied to score a lot of points. They're underdogs here. You are going to play Jerry Judy. Do you think he's a cash play or a tournament play? To me, it just makes
Cash.
him a tournament play because he's so risky. Really?
Cash and tournament,
Wow.
yeah. I just think I mean, his work will be there. No Tillman. I don't know. I mean, banged up Njoku. I just think that the volume is just there for him. They're going to have to throw. Yes, the defense is good on the Chiefs, but people have cooked
They can
on.
focus on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
The
they
defense can focus on Judy. There's nobody else.
Elijah Moore will get open, but I feel as if that most people they've played, they haven't like the receivers have still got some. You know what I mean? It's like they didn't like completely shut down the opponent's receiver
Right.
the entire game. I think he could. I don't think he's going to 5x it. He's not going to 40-point game situation. But if they're going to get 2 touchdowns, to me, Judy's getting one. So if he gets 10 targets
Fair
this game,
enough.
which I see him getting 10 to 12 targets, 6 to 8 catches, I think he breaks 100 yards and a touchdown. That's why that's the jelly feel.
Oh no, that's a huge game from him in this scenario. Wow. Okay. Um, Interesting. I put him on the list. Bengals Titans. The Bengals are on the road, but they are 6-point favorites over the Titans, and there's a 46.5 point over under. The Bengals are implied to score 26, and the Titans are implied for 20.5. Let's start with the Titans, get them out of the way. Pollard is a play. Your boy Ridley is a play. You could, if you want to throw a dart at NWI, you could do that if you want to. I'm sure he's pretty cheap in DFS, but you're gambling on a touchdown. That's complete touchdown roulette. If he gets his touchdown, you might be
Nah,
happy.
he's not. He's
You're not
not
even
as
guaranteed
juicy
to
as
be.
he once was. He was. He used to be lower fours, if not a time he was in 35 in the like 35 area. Now he's 4,900. Have a banana. And
Forget that.
yeah, no, but Ridley's 1,000 more, and he gets 1,000 times the targets. Give me in a tournament lineup all day. The Ridley Levis stack.
No, I'm not playing Levis. You fool me once, shame on
Well, no, I'm talking about
me,
me,
or
not
on
in
shame.
ours. Me,
You know, I hear
I'm
you. We played Levis last week in a tournament, and he pooped right in our faces. It was not good. Yeah, I can't trust Levis anymore, and the Titans are getting to the end of their rope too. It seems. Um, Pollard and Ridley's a fine play, not a good play, but that's based more on the fact that the Bengals defense is so bad. You know, like the Bengals have
Yeah,
been
I
giving it up
mean,
to
he's just
everybody.
been getting targets too. They're not great targets, but I will still bet on a guy getting double-digit targets most games.
Yeah, volume wise, you know, that's the argument for Ridley is volume. You know, like he's a talented player, but the argument for playing him is going to be volume every time. But you know, I'm at the point where I've seen enough of Will Levis, and I believe that we can find that volume elsewhere, but trust it a little more.
Hmm.
You know, on the Bengals side, Chase Brown, great play. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, great plays. Joe Burrow, great play. Anybody else you're interested in?
Um, nah, a not really. You know, a very if you have nothing left and you're at tight end, Chig is cheap, but that's like another dart throw. But
Mm-hmm.
no, that was tight end. Sorry, but on the Tennessee, but no, like Gesicki is like, he'll get. But in this game, I don't think they're gonna use him like they need to. Tennessee's
I like
defense is good,
Gesicki.
but like nobody is stopping Chase.
I like Gesicki when T. Higgins is not there. But with T. Higgins there, you know, now there's an extra mouth to feed, and I'm not taking the gamble on Gesicki in that situation. T. Higgins scares me too, though. He makes me nervous because like he can disappear in games. You know, they talk about like Joe Burrow came out after the game last week, talked about how he wants to keep T. Higgins in him. He'll do whatever it takes to keep T. Higgins, blah, blah, blah. Maybe throw him the ball. Maybe target him. That would be interesting. If you perhaps let him catch the ball and run with it, then maybe the ownership might think, wow, we really need this guy because he's productive on the field instead of just out there running wind sprints. Maybe throw him the ball. We'll see what happens with that. I'm playing T. Higgins in a redraft lineup this week, and I'm terrified. Terrified. Dolphins Texans. This game could be sneaky fun. Okay, the Dolphins are on the road. The Texans are at home. They're 3-point favorites, so this is a pretty even game here. 46.5 point over under. The Texans are implied for 24 and a quarter, and the Dolphins for 21 and a quarter. So pretty close to each other. Both of them should be usable teams in DFS. Where do you want to go first here?
I guess QB so he can get out of there. Like, don't really want to have either of them.
I like Tua.
I mean, Tua's been playing great. But yet again, for 6,100, I might for a cash.
Yeah, I like him for
But
cash.
I'm so afraid of playing him. I just
I've
feel like
been
at any given Sunday he can go down.
yeah I've been
I guess
trying
it's
to put
fair
that
for
out
anybody
of my
though.
yeah exactly. Been trying to put that out of my mind because at the end of the day, like everybody's one hit away. Um,
He's
so
just like a screen door.
it's true. He's been playing out of his mind since he got back from the injury. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL since then. So for cash lineups, I really do like. I believe both teams are going to have to throw and score in this game. Both offenses should be able to move the ball. So I don't love CJ Stroud necessarily. I do like Tua quarterback, and I like stacking him with either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. It's the Tua Tyreek stack is a lot cheaper now than it's been in the past. So I like the affordability there.
Yeah, he's definitely $1,000 cheaper. Um,
Than he
but
usually
depending
is
on your
on that Hill,
situation, you
right?
might. He's $1,000 cheaper than what he used to be. Yeah, he was always in the eights. Now he's 7,400. I do like the Tua Waddle stack for 5,700 on Waddle. If you could afford the Hill, sure. But yeah, I don't mind those players. No other receivers. 8 and for Miami, I mean, Houston's got a good rush defense, but Achane has been unbelievable.
Yeah, he's doing most of his damage with the catches, but yeah, he's been really, really good.
Yet again,
So
for 7,900, I
that's
might look elsewhere.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. If I'm playing anybody on the Dolphins side, it's going to be the Tua Tyreek stack in cash or the Tua Waddle stack in GPPs.
Right.
But I think they'll also be pretty highly owned. Like I don't think that that's sneaking up on anybody.
No, the Calvin
Texans.
Ridley Levis stack is.
That's not sneaking up on anybody either because it can't move because it's dead.
Oh snap!
The Texans. I don't really love C.J. Stroud for fantasy, but Nico Collins is great. Right? Nico Collins is a great play pretty much every week, except he's probably
He's that guy.
one of the most expensive receivers on the slate.
Yep.
Are you interested in anybody? I mean, Mixon, Tank Dell.
Mixon's
I
my
mean,
guy. I'm praying the Lord that all the work goes to him today.
he's been getting a lot of work. He's been getting a lot of work. So they're at
You
home.
know
They're
who else has
favored
been
by
getting a lot of
3.
work?
Who?
Cooper Kupp.
Oh, true. I thought you were going to say my mom.
I can't believe I didn't.
Yeah, that's a huge miss by you. Huge miss by you.
It
So
is,
yeah,
but it's because I'm so upset by Cooper Kupp.
Mixon's a good cash play. Mixon's probably in a good tournament play as well. He's
Yeah.
he's as good a bet to score a touchdown as anybody on the entire slate today.
Mhm.
So yeah, Mixon good, Nico good, same thing. Nico's that's got as good a chance to finish as the wide receiver 1 this week as anybody. So I
Yep.
like him.
And then I for a yet again another low price, I don't mind 3,300 for Schultz.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's not bad as far as those tight ends. We talked about it. We like to save some money at tight end if we can.
Well, yeah, he's been getting some targets. I mean, he's definitely had some. I can't believe he's on the team plays, but
Yeah,
they might be in a game today against Miami, who's going to score, and they're going to have to sling it. And it can't all be Joe Mixon as much as I want it to be. And Nico Collins isn't going to get every single one. So Tank Dell has been pretty distant.
what's Dell's price? What's Dell's price today?
Dell is standby. I think he's fairly 54.
See, that's not that bad. He hasn't been good this year. He hasn't been good, and he's priced what I think he's probably priced appropriately.
No,
But in
agreed.
this
But it's like
particular game,
if Nico Collins is, not that, like, Schultz will get some love too in the receiving. So to me, it's like, who's the two, Dell or Schultz? And like, I don't think anybody's clearly over the other person. So for that price, I don't mind a Schultz.
fair, very fair. Cowboys Panthers. This game very interesting. This is the first time, and I think
Yes, it
like
is.
first time in like 20 games or 30 games or something like that that the Panthers have been favored. They haven't been favored in like several years worth of games. That's
Yeah,
absolutely preposterous. They're at
and it's
home.
in Dallas, right?
No, they're at home.
Oh
The
no, no.
Panthers. The Panthers are at home. They're 3-point favorites with a 43-point over under. The Cowboys, obviously, with Cooper Rush at quarterback. Panthers have been playing really well lately. They played the Chiefs really close. They play everybody really close. They've been doing the best possible thing, which is to play everybody really close, be super competitive, and still lose. It's like
Mhm.
they're tanking as perfectly as you could possibly tank. They're doing a great job. So for the Panthers, you got Bryce Young, but I wouldn't play him in DFS. You got
I
Adam
like
Thielen, who
no, for a tournament, I like a Bryce Young, Thielen gamble
okay,
because it's
I
cheap.
like that. Yeah,
He's Young is
that's fair.
5,300. Because to me, honestly, when I was building this week, I'm like, I need to get a piece of the Lions and I need to get a piece of the Bills. And if I can't get Josh Allen, or like at least on the Lions side, I'm like, yo, I want one of those running backs, and they're always expensive. Where could I save some money? And a team that has been playing much better, who has been keeping it close against a team that's off defense has been questionable up and down, but also can score, like where they can go back and forth. So I like a Bryce Young, and Thielen's just been somebody resurrected him. But for a stack that's cheap, dude, I mean, you're talking 11,000 for both, under 11,000 for both. That's cheap.
That's true. Yeah, that's not a bad play, and I mean that's a really good GPP play. And I mean I don't know if I have the guts to play it in cash, but it's not out of the question to play them in
Dude, the
cash.
quarterback and the wide receiver are $100 apart. 5,300 for Young, 54 for Thielen. So you're talking 10-7 for your stack. Just
And
put
the
it on
Cowboys just did
the paper.
The Cowboys defense, we've been
What is it?
attacking them through the air. And
Mhm.
Trevon Diggs is not supposed to play today, right? That's
Right.
not bad, bro. That's not bad at all. Interesting. Look at us. Okay. Bryce Young, Adam Thielen. Oh, you know who I love in this game? Who we haven't spoken about is Chuba Hubbard. Great play in this game, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
They're home. They're favored. Chuba is going to get all the work. Unfortunately, Jonathan Brooks tore his ACL again, so he's out of the picture for quite a while. The Panthers are implied for 22 and 3/4 points. So, I mean, I think for the price, Chuba Hubbard is one of the best running backs on the board. I think he's going to be incredibly highly owned. He's going to be one of the most highly owned
Mhm.
players on the slate. But I love him in cash.
Him and Rico.
Yeah, in the same game, Rico is another one. I think they're like $200 or $300 apart.
I think it's 63 or 4 to 6. Oh no, Chubb 65 to 61.
65 for Chuba, 61 for Rico. Both of them are
Yep.
really good plays. Which one, if you can only play one of those guys? Because I don't like playing two running backs against each other in the same game. How do you feel about that? Do you have any opinions?
Yeah, it's not like the favorite thing, but I've done it. I've done it. Arizona, Seattle. I chose, Walker, Connor. I was thinking about it today, but I couldn't decide on which Lion. So, like Cook Lion. I think that's fine. They're gonna so something not normally it's, but team depend on where I'd be okay. Rico Dowdle has been cooking the past few weeks, and this is a defense that is the worst in the league for the most part. Why not?
Not anymore.
I could see it.
Which
Well, you
one, if
could
you can only
argue the
play?
fact they're at the bottom.
They're in the bottom. Yeah, no question. If you can only play
Right.
one, Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard, which one would you play? No price not included.
Price not involved Chuba.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would do
Just
the same
because I
thing.
think like you have Chuba as your RB and then your best receiver being Thielen. And then on the other side of the ball, your best receiver is Lamb. You're gonna go try and get Lamb more work
Lamb's
and
all banged
Dowdle
up.
less than you're going. Even so, but I mean, on any given week, it's like you're there's other players on the Cowboys that you're going to try and get work to where Chuba's been the guy.
True.
Thielen's been the guy the past few weeks, but where on Dallas' side, okay, look, and CeeDee's Lamb banged up, I got Jake Ferguson. I'm going to target him. I got the Brandon Cook. They have not that it's better, but I would lean Chuba.
I agree. Jets Jaguars. This game is going to be gross. May God have mercy on your soul if this is the only game you can watch today.
Oh, we didn't go. We didn't do anything else beside that. Well, no. Well, tight ends. I like Ferguson though for 3,800.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, Ferguson 3,800 is a good play.
Thielen 5,400.
Mentioned him. Yep,
Right,
I
and
like
then
him
and
in
then
cash
yeah.
and in tournaments.
No, I agree. Like a lot, like the Young Thielen stack for me. Even if Young's not in it, I think Thielen's a solid play. And because Lamb is so banged up, I think Ferguson is going to be highly owned, but needs to be considered if not played.
Fair enough. Jets Jags. Jets Jags. The Jags are at home. The Jets are 3.5-point favorites. 41 point over under. And for some reason, I don't how yeah, they are. Okay, 22-point implied total for the Jets, 18.5 for the Jaguars. So both teams, nobody expected to really score a lot of points here.
Looking like a lot of shit.
Going to be gross. Is there any Jaguars you're interested in playing? I mean, I know you're a fan of BTJ, but he's got Mac Jones as his quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking to. What is his price? He is 5,800 going against a very good defense. No, I mean if I'm on my flex and I'm good everywhere else and I have 5,800 left, I don't really know. Like looking at all the list of people that are around him, but I'm honestly sure that I'll find somebody that I'd rather put in. Great player though.
Agreed. So no Jaguars at all. For the Jets, you got
No, I mean No, is ET? No, I was gonna say if like one of their running backs is out, I might consider the one because there's just one of them. But no Jags.
Yeah, and like even Evan Ingram is out of the question just because Mac Jones stinks, and there's better. We've
Mhm.
already listed like 5 different tight end options that are better. The Jets, you got Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, who I think are both pretty safe plays at least right now while Rodgers is there. I think they're
And
both good volume plays. They're both going to get a lot of targets.
yeah,
Breeze is
because
expected.
no Tyler Conklin now, so those
Breeze is
few
expected to
targets
play.
gotta go.
Yeah,
Brees is
hey,
what?
he's expected to play.
No
Um,
thanks.
And then, yeah, I'm not interested in Brees. I'm not interested in obviously in either of the backups, Braylon Allen or Isaiah Davis. Right now, for me, the only Jets that I'm interested in playing are Wilson and Devontae Adams. What about you?
Same.
If you can only
Agreed,
play
but
one of those,
not really. You always gotta. I mean, you have to lead Adams, even though there's like no wrong answer. But I would lean Adams just because of the synchronization that he has with Rodgers.
yeah, but I'm not really jumping out the window to play. I mean, I got a lot riding on
No,
Devontae Adams today, and I'm not feeling good about it. Not at all.
you're not trying to add any more either.
No. Steelers Eagles. This should be a very good game. The Eagles are at
Yeah,
home.
I
They're
just hope
five.
that it's not the like all defense. Like I want some juice in this game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this being a game
No
where it takes a
Pickens.
while for the teams to start scoring, but then when they do, like for the entire second half, it goes berserk or something. I don't know. But yeah,
It
no
better not
Pickens
be
is
the Niners Rams game.
right, just like multiple field goals and that's it. Um, the
Right.
Steelers, it's going to be hard. Okay, so the Steelers are 5.5 point dogs, 43 point over under. Um, the Steelers are implied for 18.75 points, which is not good. And then the Eagles for
Mm-mm.
24 and a quarter. 24 and a quarter is pretty solid. It's not great, but it's pretty solid. 43 point over under. So, I mean, this could be a low scoring game. Looks like Vegas thinks it'll be moderately low scoring. You just mentioned George Pickens is out. Who on the Steelers now? And the Eagles basically have the best defense in the NFL right now for against the run and against the pass. Who on the Steelers are you interested in playing in this game?
Nobody.
I think I
I
agree.
mean, yeah, I mean, like Harris. If I had to choose somebody, if you're gun to head, choose a Steeler.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now. This is more so jellies because after Pickens, it's like I'm not touching Mike Williams. I'm not touching Kayvon Austin, Von Jefferson, dart throw. Um, Warren because of the receiving upside. I just think that no Pickens. It's going to be a dual running back show. Harris will get his touches, and then Warren. If you told me over under 6.5 targets for Warren, I'm going to go over in this game today. So I
Targets.
just
Wow.
targets. That doesn't mean he's catching them, you know. But I just think it's it's the Warren Najee attempt to win this game. Clock management, good defense. So if there's any
Fair enough.
points in this game, you could look at Fryermuth. Sure, I mean
Mhm. Yeah,
for 3,900.
To me, Firemuth is really the only pass catcher that I'd be considering. And like you mentioned, it's because his price is pretty low, you know.
But yet
Um,
again, in this game for 3,900, there's 4 other tight ends I choose over him, even though he's going to be the number 1 receiving option. I just don't like it. Jellies don't like it.
I see the theory for Jalen Warren. If you figure the Steelers are going to be throwing to catch up, or maybe whatever the case, I don't see like I have Najee Harris in our league. I'm benching him this week. I don't love the matchup. I think that he's going to have a hard time rushing against the Eagles defense. So yeah, I could see a situation where they decide to try to go with the pass catching back instead and try to do things that way because traditional ground game isn't really being successful. But yeah, I'm pretty much staying away from all my Steelers this week. How about the Eagles? Okay, so you got Jalen Hurts. He's obvious every week play. AJ Brown, usually an obvious every week play, but there's been a little bit of trouble in paradise between he and
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts
baby back
lately.
bitch trouble.
And then Devonta Smith
Devontae
and
Smith for 5,500 is okay because of this bullshit going on. But yet again, another, in my opinion, play is Calcaterra at 3,500. No Goddard.
Calcaterra. What did Calcaterra do last week? Anything?
Yeah, he got a touchdown last week.
How
We
many
talked
points
about
did
it
he
on
end up
this
with?
show, and I said I should just put money on the anytime Calcaterra touchdown bet because I think it was like at least plus 650 or something.
Right.
And I didn't, but he had a touchdown. I want to say he had a couple catches. I honestly don't remember his output. I had him in one of our in the dynasty. I think I picked him up.
I can't. I'm sure he didn't explode because we would have heard about it all week if he did. You know what I'm
Last
saying?
game, 3. Oh, sorry, no, 3, 3 for 16 and a touchdown.
3 for 16 and a touchdown. Yeah, that's
Oh, he
thin.
scored. He
That's
broke 10.
real thin. So he scored a touchdown, and how many points did he have?
10.6.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That's thin.
Who did they
It's
play
thin.
last week?
The Eagles. They played against the Panthers, didn't they? No. Yeah. Didn't they?
Yeah. They did. Yeah, long
Um.
shot, but yet again, like that's me choosing somebody, but no.
So
He's good for I think he'll be good for a touchdown.
Calcaterra again.
Listen, if I'm right, take me to Atlantic City. But
You gotta bet it. If
I
that's
mean,
the case, you gotta bet it, dude. You
if
didn't bet it
yeah,
last
right.
week,
Well, yeah, I
right?
bet you the number went down from last week to this
It's
week.
+4. It's +425. So it didn't go down that far.
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like
last week when I saw it, it was like plus 6 something.
still 425 is good, dude. You gotta bet that.
Oh yeah, Burrow or Daniels from Controversial. What's up, Controversial? That is a controversial question. No, damn. I
Burrow.
mean,
It's Burrow for me.
it's Burrow, dude. Burrow has just been lights out.
Yeah, Daniels was great earlier in the season, but he hasn't been like lighting it up lately. The Washington sort of like cooled off a little bit.
Yeah,
Burrow is
you're getting rush upside.
Burrow is essentially the NFL MVP, and if his team was winning games, I mean, they score 30
Right.
points every week. They have to win. They're desperate to win. They're playing against the Titans. I think it's Burrow there for me. Control
It is
versal.
Burrow. The only reason why you're thinking about it is because Daniels has got rushing upside. You know.
Yeah, it's Burrow. He's. I mean, if he wasn't, if the team didn't have such a bad record, Joe Burrow would probably be the front runner for MVP right now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there you go. And make sure every Sunday morning we're here, Control Versal, and then Tuesday
Yeah,
after
with Jamar Chase for that matter.
Tuesday nights, yeah, Jamar Chase. He's got T Higgins. Make it happen. Okay, Bills Lions game of the day. The Bill. I don't like.
Possibly
I
game
don't
of
like.
the year.
I don't like that the Steelers and Eagles game and the Bills Lions game are at the same time because those are probably the two best games
Yeah,
of
they
the
messed
entire day. Yeah, those are probably the two best games of the entire day, and they're both at the exact same time. The Lions are at home. They're 2.5-point favorites with a 54.5-point over under. So there's supposed to be 1 billion points in this game. We probably don't even have to
highest
break
of
this
the
thing
year.
down. We probably don't have to break this thing down that much, honestly. Start everyone. Detroit, Goff, yes. Amon-Ra, yes. Jameson Williams, yes.
Right. You're saying that each team
Gibbs,
has
yeah.
over 25-point implied total. So
I'm going to tell you the numbers right now.
yeah, Josh Allen 85. As you're looking for that, Josh Allen 8,500. Yep. Goff 6,500. You know you could play him. I wouldn't just because I think they just they win it everywhere else. But he's still not a bad play. Amon-Ra, Khalil Shakir, Jamo, Amari Cooper. I don't know about Keon Coleman, but those 4 receivers are all in play. Kincaid is questionable. Laporta is just scary to me.
Yeah.
And then Gibbs, Monty, James Cook. Like you could literally do, and I'm not gonna lie, in our lineup for DFS, I start both Lions RBs.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, for price, it's not, not too
It's
not too
not,
easy
but if
to
you're
do.
gonna do, if you're gonna say, all right, name the top 5 running backs that finish in the top 5 this week, both of these guys could. They could literally, it could, because Monty's gonna get his rushing, and then Gibbs with the receiving. They could both score, 20 to 25 points, and you'd be happy. Controversial: Jonathan Taylor or Coleman or Leggett, PPR.
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. The other 2 plays are just super thin. They're super scary. Keon Coleman, I mean,
well, Coleman is the one you're like, all right, because he's in the game with the highest total, blah blah blah. But
3rd or 4th option.
He's not going to be there. Right.
It's
Shakir, Cooper, roulette. Where Jonathan Taylor should get you a touchdown this week. So give me Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor here.
Yeah, so if you have somebody from this team, you play them. But yes, Gibbs, Monty, Cook, all good.
The Lions are implied for 28 and 3/4. The Bills for 26 1/4. So both teams start them all. I mean, if you can avoid, I wouldn't be trying to start a Buffalo tight end. I wouldn't be doing that.
I honestly wouldn't be doing it. It's scary to do the Detroit tight end. Laporta, I know best. Laporta has been such a douche.
Yeah, he's been very disappointing. I try to stay away from Laporta as well. Yeah, the tight ends in this game, I guess, are the one part where you're not like rushing out to play them. But
remember when Laporta was at the top of the list and now he's 4,200 or something? 44.
Yeah. How far he's fallen. The Colts and Broncos. The Broncos are at home, 4.5 point favorites. 43.5 point over under. Oh, we're just about to talk about the Broncos right now. Broncos D or Commanders D?
Commanders against the Saints.
Commanders are on the road against the Saints and the backup to the backup. And then the Broncos are at home against the Colts. I say that the answer is the Commanders defense just because of their matchup. They're playing against Jake Haener. There's a possibility for some turnovers in that game. New Orleans, if they try to keep up with them on offense, that means that Haener is going to probably have some opportunities to turn it over. The Broncos defense as a whole is better than the Commanders defense. Like the Broncos have a better defense, but the Commanders matchup is very, very juicy right now. So I would probably lean Commanders, but you can't really go wrong. The Broncos are 4.5 point favorites at home, 43.5 point over under, which isn't super high. The Colts are only implied to score 20 points, but the Saints are implied to score 18 points. So the Commanders, they have a better matchup right now, so I would go Commanders. The Broncos are implied to score 24 points, so they should be usable this week. Any Colts are interested in playing?
I don't mind Jonathan Taylor because he should get a lot of work, and he's just under 7,000. I mean, Jameson.
I can see Josh Downs as a play. I'm not excited to play Josh Downs or any pass catchers for Anthony Richardson, but he's at least in the conversation.
He's the only he was the guy. Yeah, I'm not spending 5,200 on Pittman Jr. Maybe if Downs wasn't there, but Adonai Mitchell, even like these are dart throws, and I'm scared to do it. Alec Pierce and stuff. So no.
Yeah, the only Colt receiver I'd be interested in playing is Josh Downs. Now the Broncos, Bo Nix is very playable, and a Bo Nix, Courtland Sutton stack is great.
Sutton stack, that's a nice stack.
Outside of the Nix Sutton though, who on the Broncos is interesting to you?
Javonte Williams is scary.
Yeah,
so nobody really. I mean, I like the matchup for the running backs going against the Colts, but I just wouldn't know which one to choose. I'd be afraid. Like I think Williams can get a touchdown. Sure.
I would see, honestly, for me, in the backfield, I would lean towards McLaughlin, but it just feels too thin. It feels too scary, like risky to pick.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
But yeah, Nix and Sutton. Let me write that down real quick. They go on the list. Okay.
Oh, for sure. For either or, in my opinion.
I agree. Patriots, Cardinals. Cardinals are at home, 6-point favorites with a 46-point over/under. The Patriots are implied for 20 points and the Cardinals for 26. So this game should have some decent scoring, and the Cardinals look like they're in a position where they should be in good shape. They're at home. All right, you got Kyler, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., and you got Trey McBride. Those are the big names. Of course, a lower price guy like Michael Wilson exists, and I wouldn't go any deeper than that. What, if any,
James
passing game
Conner.
options? Well, passing game options. Which, if any, passing game options are you
Oh,
interested in?
oh. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a great price, 5,500 for what he could do.
Yeah, I think he's a good
But he
GPP
could
play
do
every week.
right. He's just because he's scary, boomer bust a lot. Pop
Yeah.
Douglas, 4,500. Michael Wilson, yeah. You're very thin in this game. Very thin.
Yeah, I can see playing Marv in a GPP, and so for that reason, I don't mind like a Marv and Kyler stack.
Murray stack.
Yeah, I don't mind Kyler and Marv. I don't mind Kyler and Ride.
I don't mind Kyler alone. Sometimes he's sometimes a
Kyler alone
standalone guy, but
is
generally you're trying to stack.
lately this season he hasn't really been that dude. Unfortunately, he hasn't been that dude, and that's part of the reason why Marv is so hit or miss. And even McBride's getting there on volume, scored a touchdown this season. So the Cardinals offense is questionable, but my favorite play in that game is Marv. On the Patriots side for the pass catchers, I don't mind Hunter Henry. He's probably pretty cheap.
He's been good.
And Hooper has been getting the touchdown luck, but Henry has been like the volume guy. So I'm going to go with that.
Henry 4,300, Hooper 3,200.
Yeah, see, if you're looking to save some money, then Hooper, I mean, he's a huge risk.
Yet again,
He's
for
a
that
huge
price,
risk.
you'll find a better option.
Right. So now James Conner, Ramondre Stevenson. I think they're both fine plays.
They are both fine plays. I'd be more scared playing Stevenson, but they're both fine plays.
Yeah. I would be. I agree with you. Connor's the more comfortable play, but I also don't think I'm really looking to play either one of these guys as far as, okay, are they good options overall as it relates to other running back choices,
No, it's just you like Connor just because he's been the guy that gets most of the touchdowns for the team.
Yeah, he's the workload. He's a guaranteed work. Buccaneers, Chargers. Chargers are at home, 3-point favorites, 45.5-point over under. This could be a pretty fun game. The Buccaneers are implied for 21.25, and the Chargers for 24.25. So Chargers, your boy Herbert, I think is a good play this week.
He's a good cheap start, but I'm just so afraid because of like what they will limit. Like, I don't think they're gonna I never know what day they're gonna go throw crazy.
I think today is that day. The Buccaneers have one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. They score points. I think that the Chargers, I think both teams are, going to need to keep the foot on the gas here. I don't think either team runs away and hides and just runs out the clock. I think they're both going to have to score. So to me today, Herbert McConkey stack is nice.
Huge
is okay, but I'd rather play McConkey, honestly. I mean, I don't know what the price difference is probably pretty significant, but to me. So what's a Herbert McConkey stack cost?
So McConkey 6,300, Herbert 5,900. So just under 12 or a little over 12 rather.
So the only cheaper stack,
I don't mind it.
The only cheaper stack,
and I think I would lean it now that we're talking about it. Is there's no Will Dissly,
right? So you got Stone Smart as a really cheap tight end option. He's probably the best tight end play on the board today. Stone Smart
2,600.
Yeah, because he's going to be the guy. He doesn't have to do much to pay off his price. He showed out last week where he could actually be productive. To to me, Stone Smart is my favorite, especially like cash game tight end, but even GPPs for that price. Like for a GPP, a Herbert, McConkey, Stone Smart, or just Herbert and Stone Smart, you know,
Super cheap.
super cheap, super duper cheap. And on the Buccaneers side, Baker I think is a really good play. Mike Evans obviously
I
is a
actually
good
like
play.
the Baker McMillan
Okay.
because Evans, it's still Evans as well. 7,100. He's gonna get the work. They're not what we thought last week, which was let him get that record, blah blah blah. Unless today he breaks for a $160,
Well,
$170,
he's
which I
got to
don't know if
score.
that's really a
He's
thing.
he's. I think he's got to get like 106 yards per game now. It's still technically within reach. It's not like he doesn't have to go
Right.
like
I don't
125
like
or
either
whatever.
stack. I don't mind either stack though, like an Evans or McMillan, because I think Shepard missed this game or he's pretty banged up. Not that a guy, but he's got over 5 targets the past few weeks.
McMillan has
Anthony,
Anthony
pick two. Are you ready?
Kabesh. Go for it.
Ramondre, Jonathan Taylor, Tyrone Tracy, Darnell Mooney, Keenan Allen, PPR. Pick two. Mooney against the
Jonathan Taylor.
Raiders, maybe. Jonathan. Oh yeah, JT. That was so small. I skipped right over it when I was looking at it again. Jonathan Taylor for sure is one. No Tyrone Tracy. Great player. Ramondre. Yeah. Keenan. Is he still banged up? Hit or miss for Keenan? Yeah. So I think Jonathan Taylor and Darnell Mooney would be my choices.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Ramondre is certainly in the conversation there, but they're
Yeah.
6-point underdogs on the road are the Patriots. So that's not like an ideal circumstance for your running back to be in. But Jonathan Taylor,
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney, I think those are your best
Keenan
plays.
Allen playing against the Vikings.
No problem, Anthony. Jonathan Taylor, Darnell Mooney. And make sure you like and subscribe. We're here every Sunday morning breaking it down. And then on Wednesday evenings, the whole crew is here. On Tuesday evenings, the whole crew is here, and we're recapping the week, looking ahead to the next week. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Tuesday night and Sunday morning. So we discussed the Bucks, right? We touched on everybody. I'm not playing any running back
and
options.
Cade Otton.
Cade Otton, fine play. He's been
Bucky Irving questionable.
To me, if you're playing McMillan, you can't play Otton. It's like one of those only one of those guys is going to be successful. They're not both going to eat, in my opinion. I think one of them has. Last week, I think showed us that not everybody is going to eat. If McMillan is getting worked in and he's really going to start getting those targets, then I think you're going to see Otton, which he already has been fading off into the background, but he's going to continue to fade off into the background, in my opinion.
Right. Now, and you said no RBs, right? Bucky Irving questionable for this game. Gus Edwards is a scary play. Rashad White.
White's actually not a bad play. Now that I'm reminding myself here, he's not a bad play at 5,800, I believe.
Right. No, he's not. Not a bad play.
So I take back what I said. I could be convinced to play Rashad White in a lineup this week. Okay, Sunday night, Seahawks Packers in Seattle. Should be a good one. Seattle's at home. They're 2.5-point dogs. 46.5-point over under. We have the Seattle Seahawks implied for 21 3/4 and the Packers for 24 3/4. So both teams expected to score points. Let's talk Packers. You got Jordan Love, right?
Scared to play.
He's very scary. And then you have the pass catching options, which are equally as scary. Like, Dobbs is back, I believe. You got Christian Watson. You got Jaden Reed. There's a bunch of guys, but at this point, I don't feel comfortable playing any of them. And if I had to play one, I'd probably play Christian Watson.
Which is scary again.
Yeah. Do you have what's your take? Oh, Tucker Kraft is also a decent play at tight end. I think everybody
Tucker
on this
Kraft's
team,
okay.
everybody on this team, as far as pass catchers, they're all fine options. Like any one of them could blow up. So I think they're all good GPP options, but it's hard to pick which one it's going to be.
Yeah, my goal is to not have to worry about it. I do like a Josh Jacobs,
Yes,
but
Jacobs is probably the best play on the Packers.
right, him. Kraft is an okay play, but not something I'd be excited about. Yeah, I'm a little nervous with this game, even though the over under is a good number. I just feel like for that side, other than Josh Jacobs, it's like you don't know who's gonna get the ball. Like whose day is it? So I don't want to. You if you get it right, you get it right. But I don't want to. I'll take my risks somewhere else.
Fair enough. Yeah, so Jacobs is in there, and then the passing game options, that's at your own risk. Seahawks, running back, no Ken Walker, so it's Zach Charbonnet again. So I like Zach Charbonnet now. Obviously, he's not as good of a price point as he was last week. Last week he was like the cheapest running back in the world, and he fucking exploded. He broke the slate. This week he's probably not going to explode like that. He's going to have so much more. Like his ownership's going to be pretty high because he's the only guy. What's his price right now? Do you have it in front of you?
I'm trying to get to it because I was only in like the midday slate, so I'm trying to get myself into the night game. What are you trying to do, babe? Okay, just don't. Yeah, kids.
This is the Sunday night game?
Trying to come on. What is this? Entries. Oh no, I've never done it on the computer other than like last week was the first time, and it's like such a different layout. Like
sure
looking at the like DFS.
Up over there, buddy.
DFS.
What about
DFS?
What you're talking about.
The like a lineup. I've never done it on the computer.
Oh, really?
Last week was the first time I was like looking at the app on the computer and like just to choose a lineup. Yeah, and I'm trying to find out like where the hell it is. It won't let me, like when you go on the phone, it's like, all right, which contest do you want? The main slate,
All right, so here we go. Oh no, of course, long fucking thing. I click on a contest and it brings me into a friggin', of course it's a captain's contest, not a regular friggin' contest. This is unbelievable. Sorry, this is the worst worst possible podcasting in the world right now. Okay. So slate, so you can't even play. We can't even play these guys on the main slate anyway, so it's almost like not even worth discussing. But we've gone this far. This is unbelievable to me. I've clicked this thing like 15 times and it still took me to the wrong place. This is so ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I can't forget it. Doesn't matter. I don't even fucking care. They're not on the main slate, so we're not playing Seattle's running backs anyway. But it's absolutely ridiculous to me that I can't actually see the prices of these guys no matter how many times I click. No matter what I click on, it just keeps kicking me to a different slate. And I can't see the players. Zach Charbonnet is 6,000 tonight. 6,000 on the but so that's not great. It's pretty good though. I'd probably still end up playing him if I played like a night slate. There's a 3-game primetime slate that you get the Sunday night and then the 2 Monday night games, which could be a pretty fun slate to play actually. So that's interesting. Zach Charbonnet there. He's the 4th highest priced running back. So he's probably going to be in every single lineup there. So play Zach Charbonnet at your own risk because everybody else is playing him also. Seattle Seahawks pass catchers. DK, JSN. That is it.
Yeah.
You can't play Tyler Lockett. Noah Fant. You can't really play Noah Fant. Geno is a shaky play, but
no, you can't. Noah Fant.
There's a lot of interesting stacking options in the game if you wanted to go Jordan Love and one of his pass catchers and a DK or a JSN, or if you want to go Geno Smith and a DK or a JSN and then one of the Packers coming back. There's a lot of interesting stacking options that you could go with there. But I think the best Packers play is Josh Jacobs, and I think the best Seahawks play is Zach Charbonnet.
Yep.
Monday night. We got 2 Monday night games. They're both at the same time. One of them is pretty fun. The other one, probably not so much fun. 8:15. Minnesota Vikings at home hosting the Chicago Bears. Could be fun. The Vikings are 6.5-point favorites with a 44-point over-under. The Vikings are implied for 25.5 points, and the Bears for only 18.5 points. Vikings. Obviously, Sam Darnold went completely berserk last week. He's very startable. You got Justin Jefferson, obviously. You got Jordan Addison, who's been great lately. Any other Vikings you're interested in playing? Maybe Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones a little. He's been pretty good.
How about Bears?
But I feel like the Bears' rush defense is also pretty good. Bears, scared about the running backs. I mean, Swift has had a pretty good year, thinking about it. But not really excited about it because I think they're going to have to pass the ball more. And I'd be scared. That whole team is a little fucking fucked up right now. But I guess in like a dart throw, if you were trying to say, let me do the Caleb stack, what's the receiver? Because it's like DJ Moore. Right, but then look at Rome Odunze last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, but if I have to pick one to play that I think has the best chance to go off, it's DJ Moore. You know.
So DJ Moore, and then like what about Keenan in that situation? You know, like he's had it's basically 1 week is one of those receivers. It's not been a week where it's like, oh man, this is all 3 of them cooked. They all had 6 catches, blah 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 blah. It's the DJ Moore day, it's the Keenan day, and then earlier in the year it was the Cole Kmet day. So he can't service all those options.
Yeah, I agree. Like I am playing DJ Moore in one of my redraft playoff games today. I feel okay about it, but
yeah, you're not super right. He's going to cook today.
Can't say that with any kind of confidence.
No, sir.
Let's see. Bears, Vikings. Anybody else we didn't talk about? Not really. Last game, Falcons, Raiders. Okay, the Raiders are at home. They're 5.5-point dogs, 44.5-point over under. Are there any Raiders you're interested in playing? Brock Bowers, maybe?
Yeah, Brock Bowers. That's it. That kid's unbelievable. Doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball, he's gonna get to work.
And who's throwing him the ball this week is going to be Desmond Ridder, who stinks out loud. So keep your expectations for the Raiders as low as possible, as low as you can possibly keep them. They have a 19.5-point implied total, and the Falcons are implied for 25. So, I mean, Kirk Cousins has been horrible lately. Yeah, but Drake London, Darnell Mooney, I think are both playable, both startable, and you just got to hope for the best.
Bijan,
you got again, but though you got to hope for the best because he's another one where they take him out at the goal line for Algier. It's not consistent. It's not consistent.
Nope, I'm probably staying away from this game.
Yeah, I mean,
because you can't touch Kyle Pitts.
No, you can't. In redraft, I have to play Darnell Mooney, but other than that, I'm not excited about
in DFS for the price. I don't know. I'm sure he's in I want to say he's probably in the 5s. Darnell Mooney's not a bad.
Yeah, of course it's that weird slate, so the prices are going to be a little bit different. But he's not a bad play. He's been really good this season. It's just hopefully he continues to be consistent. Kirk Cousins is the biggest problem. He's been so bad lately that he just hurts everybody on that team. And that's it. That's our slate. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that he's not fully recovered from his injury from last year. You know, he's not able to move around. He's not able to do a lot of this. He's not able to generate the same kind of throwing power from his bottom half that he's used to. So he's throwing a lot of ducks out there.
Right. Look at both of those guys.
He looks like Chad Pennington did at the end of his career, where he couldn't get the ball past 20 yards down the field. So there you go.
At the end, but not as good. But yeah, the guys can't get it ball out. Yeah, but like, both of them, Rodgers too. Rodgers and him. It's like they both had the same injury.
Yeah, very similar. The thing is,
both
Rodgers had it like 6 months before, or 4 months before he did. So he's a little bit further ahead in his recovery. So,
but still, one of those things is the age of those guys and that injury. They're not. I don't think they're just going to get back to, what they once were. Though.
I agree. All right, so you want to do the cash lineup first or the tournament lineup first?
Cash.
Okay, stand by for me 1 moment, please. Okay. Stand by. I'm going to share my screen.
That's good.
Okay.
Fa la 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 la.
So, all right, cash lineup first. You know, the cash quarterbacks that I wrote down that were interesting to me were Tua and Bo Nix.
And which one do you like more?
I like Tua more.
Put it in. I'm cool with it.
All right, so I got Tua now. And of course, the Tua with Tyreek Hill was kind of the direction that you go with.
Right.
That?
So you start off with that. I like it. Yeah.
Now let's take a look at our onesies.
I guess go to yeah.
So the defense
probably Jets.
Jets. The Jets are 3,000. The Panthers are 27. They're at always. So we'll put Jets in right now, but if we need to save some money, we need a couple extra hundred. That's where we'll get it from.
That's fine.
Tight end.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, tight end. Okay.
So you mentioned Fergalicious at 3,800. Zach Ertz was another guy that I wrote down.
Okay. And
for cash.
How much is Zach Ertz?
Hold on a sec. Zach Ertz is 4,000. Ferguson is 38. So you want to go Ferguson here?
Anybody else in cash? That was basically our main cash, right?
That's who I wrote. Those are the ones I wrote down that we discussed the most for their price points. Yeah, because like
all right. So which one you like more?
I wrote down Otten 500. So you're between 4 and 3,800.
And then Schultz I talked about, but I think that's more of a tournament.
Yeah, that I wrote him down in the tournament side.
I'm good with honestly Ferguson or Ertz. I think they're both fine plays.
Ferguson for right now.
Give me Ferguson, yeah.
Okay, Ferguson it is. You got him. All right. Let's talk
RBs.
So guys that we wrote down that we talked about were Chuba and Dowdle. Okay. You mentioned Brian Robinson Jr., Joe Mixon.
You want to try one Josh higherly priced, one lower a little bit?
Sure. Which
I honestly like Joe Mixon is probably as high as I would want to spend.
Yeah, I agree.
Or picking any one of the Lions.
I don't mind Derrick Henry though, honestly. Or the Lions.
Sorry,
so as far as lower price guys, we got
okay, go ahead.
We got Chuba at 65. We got Dowdle at 61. We got Rashad White at 58. I don't see anybody else below Rashad White that really grabs me. So did you want to go like straight to Rashad White, or you want to try like a Chuba and then see where we land?
I like Chuba. He's been the work, man. He's the
Right.
guy. And there's no
So
worry about trying to work in Brooks either.
correct, or anybody else. So now, did you want to try and plug in like a Mixon or a Gibbs or a David Montgomery?
All right. So we're gonna name these four: Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Gibbs, Montgomery. Take two out?
I will take out Mixon and
I like that.
Gibbs.
As much as I want him to play, he's like Mixon and Gibbs. Okay, so Derrick Henry. So start with Derrick Henry, and then if we needed to go down, we go Monty.
All right, we'll see how that works. We're already we really need to save money on receiver here. Cheap receivers. I didn't really write down a lot of cheap receiver names, so I'm just going to scroll down here and we can go from the bottom up. Your boy Jalen McMillan is here at 3,700. But I don't see him as a cash play. You know,
like
he's more.
No,
of a,
I like him as a play though, just because they're a little banged up in receivers. How much is Shakir? I feel like he's always like in the low.
Ooh, Amari Cooper is 53. Oh, see, now check this out. Shakir is 61. Amari Cooper is 53. I'd much rather play Amari Cooper in that situation.
Okay, so now Amari Cooper or McMillan?
Oh, it's easily Amari Cooper, but I mean, you're talking about two
Amari
completely price points. Not even close to each other
Amari
in price.
Cooper, put him in. What's our average?
48 we need.
And we have two positions left?
Yeah. I mean, one of them needs to be a receiver, so I'm trying to find like I'm going down to some like super. Your boy Mac Hollins, 3,800.
Yeah, but is McMillan's cheaper than Hollins? No,
he is. He's 3,700. So let's plug him in there. See what happens. I don't like this as a tournament play. I'm sorry, as a cash play. I think McMillan is more of a tournament play, but we're here, so here we go.
You might have to now. What you do is look at the flexes and see where we are, and then we might have to drop Henry to Montgomery.
So we can play right now. We could play Ramondre. We can play your boy Calvin Ridley. We can play Rashad White. We can play.
I like Ridley out of all of them just because they're gonna have to throw, but like still not extreme. Waddle. No, but then
fuck Waddle. Waddle's not a cash play. Waddle's not a cash play. We have Tyreek Hill anyway. So here's what we got. We've used every dollar of our lineup. We got Tua and Tyreek Hill. We got Amari Cooper. We got Jalen McMillan. We got Calvin Ridley. We got Chuba and Derrick Henry. We got Jake Ferguson and the Jets defense.
Okay, so that now that we will remember. Do you like Ridley there or no?
I don't love Ridley. No, I don't.
If you had to get rid of one, Ridley or McMillan?
McMillan.
So now go to Henry, plug in Monty.
Actually, hold on a second. I'd actually rather change Ridley, honestly. So we'll take away Henry.
Well, we might be able to upgrade both.
Stand by. Montgomery's
like 7.
And then we're going to remove Ridley and see where that leaves us here. Now we can play, Chase Brown, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, Jonathan Taylor.
You also now, you might be able to do a Cortland Sutton, a James Cook, and then upgrade McMillan possibly, but I don't know how much that would be,
Well, what about like a
neighbor? No.
You got Garrett Wilson, Cortland Sutton.
Brian Robinson Jr., a McConkey. A Mekong, a Ladidi. Right there, 6,200. Ladidi, Brian Robinson Jr.
I don't like Lad McConkey. He's so banged up, dude. He's like there. He's a game time decision. Is
So
McConkey
huge, or do we just stay away? That's more of a
no?
plug and play.
Still,
So I like Brian Robinson Jr., Jerry Judy, Neighbors,
let's
Cortland
put
Sutton.
Judy in. We'll put Judy in, and then we can maybe take a look at McMillan now. Changing McMillan.
What do we got left?
4,700. Now let's see.
Leggett. Well, no, you can go up a couple because we can change Jets defense.
Yeah, let me do that real
You
quick.
can now get in Quentin Johnston.
And then I'm going to move. Here's what I'm going to do. Move Judy into the wide receiver slot.
Yeah, maybe, and you might be able to get an RB play. Solid.
Now we're looking at Davis, Hunt, Moore. These are all gross options. QJ.
So, do we like Quentin Johnston, or do you like Justice Hill, or do you like to go a little lower and then bring up
I don't
Judy?
think
You know,
we're off the kind of off the map right now as far as cash game. We're losing our way here because like Quentin Johnston is not a cash play. These guys, Justice Hill, not a cash play. Like we're way off the reservation now. We've lost our focus completely lost our focus. Let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, we got Tua, we got Tyreek Hill, Chuba Hubbard, David Montgomery, Amari Cooper, Jerry Judy, Jake Ferguson. Okay, these are all pretty solid plays. Okay, for cash lineup. Judy concerns me a little bit, but
so then
as far as volume is concerned. So now let's take a look here.
He's 6,200. Go back in receiver. Let's see if we can drop it. You know, 3.
For example, Adam Thielen is 5,400.
Marvin.
He's a tournament play. He's not a cash play. Adam Thielen is a cash play. Adam Thielen is a cash play. Marvin Harrison is a tournament play. Because Thielen's going to get a dozen targets or whatever.
So play Thielen.
So now we have 58, and I think now we can fit like we can fit Rashad White in here, which I like. Brian Thomas, not a
58.
58.
So highest is Rashad White, and what else is around there? Kelsey's okay, but I don't want to dual tight end it. So yeah, I like Rashad White there.
Okay.
I like that lineup.
So do I. Tua, Chuba, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Cooper, Thielen, Ferguson, White, Panthers defense. Okay.
Do it.
Just give me a moment.
Now we're going to go risky business.
Yeah, but give me a second. My computer.
This is my territory.
Well, it's unbelievable. Give me one moment, please.
I better win the championship, bro, or freaking a best ball. Give me something.
So what I've done is this cash lineup. I put it into a $5 double up. And now I'm also, just in case we hit it and it's a big number, I'm putting it also into a couple of very low price tournaments as well.
I like that.
Give me a second and I'll show you exactly what I mean.
You got to spread that juice around.
This is taking so long. My computer's moving so slow. It's unbelievable.
All right.
Stand by.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm sorry this is taking so long. I don't know why my computer's moving so slow. All right, do you see that? I feel like I just lost you.
Yeah, I see it.
So those are the tournaments that we're entering here.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
So the cash lineup goes into a giant 30K. It's a 30,000 person tournament, $5 double up.
Oh, I like
The
that.
GPP lineup that we're about to do, 30,000 $3 pylon single entry, and then both lineups are going to get entered into these small little tournaments. Just in case, one's a micro booster and one's a tournament, just in case we hit a number. That way, we'll get a little extra juice on our.
Like last week, our cash lineup
bets.
had a nice number.
Yeah, exactly. But we didn't play it in any tournaments, so now we'll be playing them in tournaments as well. So instead of just winning the cash money, hopefully we'll win a little tournament money on those lineups as well. Just double. We're hedging our bets. We're hedging our bets.
Double dipping.
We like that. Okay, so our tournament lineup. Now we can get a little wild. We can get a little crazy. We can start to make some risks. Tournament. The tournament quarterback stacks that we talked about that I liked were the Young and Thielen stack, the Herbert and Smart stack, and the Baker and McMillan or Evans stack.
Jellies are really leaning the Young.
Okay.
I guess we start with the Young.
That's what we do. Yeah, we start with the Young.
Yeah, because the Herbert Smart stack is like as expensive as like Josh Allen.
And I'm gonna plug the Panthers in here as the defense. Tight end. Okay. So as far as tight ends are concerned, you mentioned Noah Gray, but that's like if we need to save money play. You mentioned Schultz again, a save money play. Calcaterra, save money play. Smart. That dude Smart is the ultimate save money play at tight end. And we completely didn't even use him in our cash lineup. That might have been a stupid play by us. We may need to go back. We completely forgot about that dude Smart. I forgot to write him in the cash.
So why don't we play him here?
We can play him here.
So let's do that right now. So because I think we played Ferguson, which is a fine play.
Yeah, but it's a savings of $1,200. That's a lot of savings, dude. We should look at
a lot of savings
when we're done. I mean, it's a lot. That's a fucking lot of money. Okay, so we have our Smart in as the tight end, so we got lots of juice to work with here. So now, okay. Judy, Ridley, Waddle, Justice Hill.
Running backs?
I'm just listing guys that I wrote down for GPPs. Devonta Smith, Marv. We could play your boy Marv Harrison Jr. now if you want.
Well, let's pick at least one running back that we want in there.
Running back?
Who do you think's gonna what?
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Who do you think's gonna for sure pay out their price point at least? Like you can have that one good price point guy, you know.
I think that again.
Did we play Brian Robinson Jr.?
We didn't play Brian Robinson Jr. I'll throw him in. That's a pretty good one because I was going to bring up again the Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, Rashad White area, but he's right in that area, so that works.
Now, how about a receiver? With Rico as the other one, or you know,
Rico.
Because I mean, he's a good price point, but we could always upgrade it if we needed to. But then I still want to always get a Lion in there. I'm more on the Lions RBs than I'm on their receivers, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's most people are. I mean, that's a very safe way to go about it. So I plugged Rico Dowdle in for now. Let's talk about receivers. Jamar Chase, always a good play. Nico Collins, always a good play. AJ Brown, I don't know if he's a good play this week. Part of me thinks that he's going to have the biggest week of all time because he's a squeaky wheel. Part of me thinks that they're going to be like, "Yep, sorry, buddy, we're still winning games."
Just a normal day.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin. I like Terry McLaurin as a play. We already have Brian Robinson Jr., but I don't mind playing McLaurin. Evans, Cortland Sutton. What do you think?
Your Neighbors was your guy for this, right?
Neighbors was a tournament play, but I wouldn't call him my guy. No, I wouldn't call him my guy. I would. Again, I'd rather play Amari Cooper than Khalil Shakir. But did we play him in our cash lineup already?
Harrison.
Yeah, I'm going to put Marvin Harrison.
Cooper in our cash.
Okay, I put Marvin there for 5,500. I do love tournaments. We have 2 players left, and we have 81 to spend. So we can
81
buy.
Total.
We can, 81 average.
Oh, 81 so average. Ooh.
Yeah, we have a lot of money to spend, so we can play like a top receiver and a top running back if we want.
So do you like where we're at right now, and do you want to go to like flex and then just get the best flex player?
The best. I mean, we have Saquon Barkley, but I don't know that he's necessarily the best play. Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry.
No.
Derrick Henry right here.
You can Henry it. You can Gibbs it. Henry or Gibbs, I'm fine with as like the top paying guy.
Let's go Gibbs, and then that leaves us. We could literally have any receiver we want. Do you want Jamar Chase?
Wait, so we'll have money left over.
We're gonna have money left over no matter what. You can have Jamar. Do you want? I mean, you have Chase. We have Nico Collins. Both of them, I think, are pretty good options. You know, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, but you would lead Jamar Chase all day. He's literally like 100 points more than the next receiver.
So,
but if Nico didn't get injured, it could have been right.
So now we have the 300. We could go from the Panthers D to the Jets D if you want in this situation.
Are you cool? Like, I like Gibbs. I like the smart play because 300 really not going to break the bank on the tight end. That's probably your best option. Chase is a good play. I like Harrison Thielen. So are we good with the Rico Dowdle, Brian Robinson Jr. RB?
I'm definitely fine with Brian Robinson Jr. We can't really do much.
So
Rico, we can't really do much with Rico. We could go down from Rico, but I think we just stay put.
What are we at? 65, and the best player we can get is nobody.
64.
That's better.
No, yeah, it was at 60. It was 65.
So Rico's a play.
Yeah. And then, did you want to go Panthers to Jets, or do you want to stay with the Panthers?
I like the Jets D, to be honest.
Okay.
I think that the Panthers are going to get scored on. So right there, you play the Jets defense. Ooh, you got Gibbs and Chase.
Yeah. Stand by. Of course,
I think that's pretty good.
Players.
It's going to take me. We're hoping for the $1 million contest, and then we could buy a studio.
Well, we're not entered into $1 million contest, so it's going to be tough to win.
I'm just saying, and like we want to hit top dollar, is what I'm saying.
I think if we hit all of our money right now, hold on a second. If we hit all of our things, I only win like $7,000. I don't bet big.
We could rent a studio.
The tournament lineup, the tournament that I entered, like the top prize is only like a couple of $1,000 because it's a flat payout.
Hey.
So more people get paid out, but you get less, you know.
That's fine.
Winnings
is winnings.
Oh my God. This is taking forever.
Forever.
I keep trying to click one thing, and every time I click it, it switches to something else.
Gotta love it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Jesus Christ. I don't understand what's going on here.
Nobody knows. How are they going to know?
All right. So our cash lineup was with Tua, right? It was this Tua, Chuba, Tyreek Hill, Thielen, Cooper, Ferguson, White, right?
Yes. Yes.
So now if we were to knock out Jake Ferguson here
And put in Doctor Strange
and slot Mr. Smart in, Mr. Smart, we have 1,200 to spare. Okay. 1,200
All right.
to
So
spare.
where would you
Let's
you look
start
at?
here.
White?
I did that first. Okay, so I removed White, and we can get up to like a Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, James Cook. I don't love James Cook though against the Detroit defense. They're gonna have to throw in this game. T. Higgins. So let's see.
If you were to name those again, I mean, I would probably like Taylor.
He's going against the Denver defense in Denver.
No. Pollard.
Devontae
maybe.
Adams is going to get a ton of targets. I know it's hard to play Jets. It's hard to, whatever. We got Cortland Sutton sitting. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing Cortland Sutton. James Conner. James Conner is a good play.
Cortland Sutton. He's touchdowns. He's the guy. And who did we take out? I'm sorry.
We took out Jake
Rashad
Ferguson,
White.
the tight end, and we took out Rashad White.
No, the flex. Oh,
yeah.
So to go from Ferguson to Smart to then go from Rashad White to a Cortland Sutton. I like that. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind either way. But
all right, so I dropped in Cortland
out of
Sutton,
the ones you named, dropping Cortland Sutton,
and then I'm going to move the Panthers to the Jets.
And then we have money left. Or we're good.
Well, I just changed it. I just moved the Panthers to the Jets. We had 400 left over.
We're good.
So I swapped it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so looking at that, you like that better?
I do a little. I do like it a little better.
That's fine. And it wasn't a big switch where we couldn't be like, you know what, that was the better move, or we should have stayed. So it's like, either way, I like both floor plans, if you would.
Yes, I would. Yeah. So that's it. We did it, man. We did another successful Sunday morning. We obviously touched on a bunch of really awesome plays, but we just don't know what they are yet. We're going to, but throughout the day, we're going to be like the Leo meme. We're going to be like pointing at the screen every time we called that. But hopefully we actually got all the plays into our lineup, because that's what matters the most. You got anything else before we sign off?
Before we sign off, I want to say that you and I are playing together this week.
No, we're not playing together. We're playing against each other.
That sounded a little off. Yeah, but yeah, we're playing against each other this week. And no matter what happens, I hope that we see each other in the Dynasty Championship.
What you're supposed to say is, I hope we play each other again this postseason. You're not supposed to say it that way, but yeah, I agree. I hope this is not our last time playing against each other in the postseason this year. I hope we get at least one more game against each other. That would be the best. But yeah,
I agree,
right
because
now
I feel like both of our teams in both leagues are very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, my sweep the leg team really has fallen apart over the second half of the season. It's impossible to feel confident about my sweep the leg team. It's impossible. They really have been just pretty bad, honestly, over the last part of the season. So yeah, I'm nervous.
That's John's fault, though. We know that.
Yeah, John has a big part of it. There's no question. He jinxed me. He hexed my team. He cursed me. And I didn't do anything to him. He just decided, I'm going to curse Dave today. So good luck. Good job on John. But yeah, right now I have a 16-point lead, and we have a lot of football left to play. Lonely Stoner has a question for us, Anthony.
First seed PPR hurting at RB2. Start 1. Oof. Vidal, Tajay Spears, McLaughlin, Sean Tucker. If no Bucky, Hunt or Madison. Cowboys or Chargers D. And then kickers. All right. So first of all, Dave, I'm going to let you say what you got to say about the kickers.
The kickers, the way I would do this is to eliminate kicker from your lineup. So what you're going to do is after the season is over, you're going to go to your league mates and you're going to say, hey, we got to get rid of kicker position. We need to stop using kickers and add another flex. So for the kicker, my recommendation is you're asking if it's a Butker, Lutz, or Elliott. I'm going to say get rid of kicker and use get a different flex. A second flex position is much more fun than a kicker. But yeah, Butker is a fine play there. Cowboys defense or the Chargers defense. I am going to go Chargers defense. Anthony, what about you?
I agree.
And then if no Bucky, then yeah, Sean Tucker's a fine play. If Bucky
I wouldn't
plays,
choose that as my RB2 though.
No, neither would I. I'd probably go McLaughlin. What would you do, Anthony? He's leaning.
Yeah, I mean,
he's leaning Vidal, but that's a lot of wishful thinking, you know.
Right, because you got Gus Edwards in there, who even if they do a dual backfield, Gus Edwards is going in goal line. So I would. It's me. It's McLaughlin. Sean Tucker is scary, even if there is no Bucky, because it's going to be Rashad White all day, and it wouldn't be a fair split, in my opinion. It becomes that. So yeah, I would go McLaughlin. Yeah, no Madison. No, thank you. Get that out of here. No. Hunt, you can't have him anymore. Pacheco's back. They're going to slowly work. Not that it's the full Pacheco show, but
Pacheco he's already taken over the job. He's already taken over the job. He did
right. But it's they're still going to give Hunt some work to ease Pacheco in. But yeah,
right. But he's not playable in fantasy.
It's McLaughlin. No, he's not playable. It's McLaughlin for me.
Okay, so now, Kevin N. Crazy question, Kevin. And hey, Lonely Stoner, we do this every Sunday morning, and we also Tuesday nights we do a pod. A group of us get together and do a pod. So make sure you like and subscribe. Visit us Tuesday night. Let us know how it went. Kevin N. Thoughts on starting Shakir over AJ Brown? Anthony, your thoughts?
That's bold move, Cotton. But you're not wrong for thinking it, in my opinion, right? I mean, all this bullshit that's going on. AJ Brown, better player, light years away.
Yes.
Shakir, I think, had like 10 targets last week, going against a team where they're gonna have to try and do the same thing. But I couldn't click the button, bro. I couldn't click the button. To me, if I'm gambling and assuming that, they're going to try and feed him the ball a little more, even though he is bitching about it. But that's a guy you get the ball to. He's not wrongfully saying, listen, look at me over here. I deserve the ball. And he's never open. The guy's legit. So I couldn't do it, in my opinion, but you're not wrong for thinking it.
It's a fair question. Shakir has been looking a little bit better. There's like the unsettled situation in Philly, but I probably would play AJ Brown and just roll with my stud in that situation. You might be getting a little too cute by trying to start Shakir over AJ Brown. Like I have AJ Brown, I'm playing him in a lineup. I don't feel super confident about it, and I do have other options I could play, but I'm just gonna roll with AJ Brown because none of them have the upside that AJ Brown has.
Yeah. Plus on Vikings for the Bills, and they're it's the Josh Allen show. James Cook will get his work, but like when it comes to the receivers, it's a lot of times it's spread out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like AJ Brown is the guy.
Yes. Vikings D or Broncos D? The Vikings they're home against Chicago, and the Broncos are home against, I believe, the Colts.
Broncos.
Yeah, I'd go Broncos there as well.
Right, it's Anthony Richardson. He's gonna throw a pick. He's good, they're gonna sack him.
They're at home. Yeah.
Plus the Bears. The Bears could have one of those games. The Bears have been, on and off, so there could be a game you know. So I'm all right. Oh wow, another one. Oh bang,
You,
thanks. Yeah, Pitt hasn't been given too much to wide receivers, but I think I can give AJ a chance. I think you
yeah,
should. I think he earned a chance.
yeah. AJ Brown, he should be in your lineup. It's scary right now. It's never been scarier than it is today to start AJ Brown in his entire career. It's
Yeah.
never been scarier to start AJ Brown than it is today. I think you
Kevin,
still got
Kevin, I am starting AJ Brown against the man on the other side of the screen today, with
yeah.
Cooper Cup having a 0 in my lineup already, where I need every possible point out of players. I don't know. I don't have much of a. I don't think I have a better option than Shakir, but like I can't think of it. I can't. I'm not even looking that way. AJ Brown's locked in.
Dylan
Full
Fink.
PPR. Dylan. Full PPR. Lost K9 this week. Need one RB, one flex, one tight end out of the below. All right. RBs. Bucky Irving, McLaughlin, Braylon Allen. That's rough. Wide
McLaughlin.
receivers. JMO. Agreed. JMO.
Devonta
Is that
Smith.
okay? Jameson Williams and Devontae Smith.
I'm going Jameson
Ertz
Williams there.
got scared. Got Terry going already. Schultz, Meyer, Muth. So I like Ertz. I like Muth because the Muth is by himself.
Yeah.
Um,
Who would
don't
you
be
play
afraid
over?
of having Ertz and Scary Terry because they're gonna get the work all together.
Yes.
I think Muth is higher ceiling. Ertz safer play.
Yes. I agree. So yeah, Muth is the higher ceiling play. Ertz is the safer play. I'd probably play Ertz in that situation. I'm playing Jameson Williams over Devonta Smith. Which one are you playing, Anthony?
Now, because you're going with this, right? So it's like, are they going to feed it to AJ Brown? Then you don't play Smith. If you're thinking they're just going to go with they've been the past 2 weeks. Devontae Smith has gotten some work. Jameson Williams up and down, but I'm still going to go leaning the JMO right there with they're going to highest over under in the week, highest
Highest over the
potential.
week. Yeah, I want pieces of that game. And Jameson lately
Right.
has been more consistent. He's getting his targets. Play Jameson Williams. And then who you playing? Bucky Irving, McLaughlin, or Braylon Allen? I'm playing McLaughlin.
McLaughlin all day. Like Bucky
Yeah,
Irving, if he wasn't banged up, but he's banged up.
yeah, he's too banged up. He might not finish the game. So it's obviously Irving is the best player there, but with his injuries concerns, I'd have to play McLaughlin and just hope for the best. Kevin says it's supposed to rain, but he hopes it doesn't end up like 49ers Rams. Yeah, I agree
Don't
that I
even
agree
fucking
that
say
game
that.
was no fun. That game was no fun. So we want fun today. We want overs to hit. We want fun. We want passing games to work. We want running games to work. We want everybody to stay healthy because it's playoff weekend and we need our players to show up.
Yeah.
It's about noon, and that means that the show has come to the end. Anybody else in the chat has any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. It's time for the playoffs. We have round one of your fantasy playoffs. I'm going to try to stretch this ending out as far as I can because the last couple shows I ended the show and then like 3 questions came in on the on the chat
Yeah, I
like right
know.
after I
It always,
pressed
it
exit.
always happens. I guess
So if
people are
you have a
looking like right
question,
now it's 12 o'clock. They got their. Let me see. The reports came out. Injury reports. Who's starting? Who's not playing? Like this is the time.
yeah.
We do this Tuesday nights. We go over a little bit of our fantasy football league, and then we touch on the upcoming slate. Bang! Lonely Stoner back in. Wants to rate the team. I'll do it.
Rate the team.
Rate
It's
the
great. It's
team.
great. It's so good. It's great. It's great. It's the best team I've ever
PPR.
seen. Hurts and
PPR.
AJ Brown. We
Hurts,
like
AJ Brown stack, How do you get AJ Brown? All right, Jamar Chase,
10
McLaurin,
team.
Brian Robinson Jr., Kraft, JMO on the bench, Dobinson, Rice. Oh, you had Rashi Rice. Oh
Dobbins
no,
and
wait,
Rice both on IR. That stinks, but that's a really good team. You should be
that's
in good
solid squad.
shape. Yeah, definitely a good squad. So good luck to you, Lonely Stoner. Hopefully you win this week. Kevin,
This one's
yes,
for
you're
you,
welcome.
Lonely Stoner.
We'll see. Yes, there you go. Cheers. Cheers, Lonely Stoner. You're not lonely anymore. Kevin, we'll see you next week. We're here on Tuesday nights. We're here Sunday mornings. Check us out. Like and subscribe. Always Sunday Football Podcast. Everybody, good luck in your matchups this week. Hopefully you make it to the second round of the playoffs, but that's next week where it's always Sunday.